With Bernie Sanders no longer campaigning, who is the best presidential candidate for progressives? I'm going to introduce 3. And they do not include Joe Biden. They do not include Hillary Clinton. They do not include Andrew Cuomo. The 3 are 3 you might not have heard of, but who exude progressive values and can actually get legislation done better than Bernie Sanders, Liz Warren could ever do. If elected, a Bernie Liz ticket would face so many obstacles from Congress. They're not going to get a 2/3 majority. The public, guess who rams through progressive legislation faster and better? They are the candidates who are competing for the Constitution Party's nomination. Constitution Party candidates respect the Constitution. Here it is. And the Constitution respects liberty. All told, this is a beautiful way for progressives to set up your own systems, your own welfare system, your own higher education system, your own labor system, workplace. The Constitution allows, indeed encourages, progressives to set up beautiful systems, your own workplace systems, your own higher education system, your own Medicare, Medicaid systems, your own retirement systems, all because you can do it without any interference, so long as you don't force other people to do your bidding. And there's so many people among you. I mean, progressives are growing. It's no secret. You number at least 25 million people in the United States. That's more than the population of Sweden, Denmark, and Norway combined. So any of these far-reaching systems that you are fighting for tooth and nail to have the federal government provide, you get to have it. In the government of your making, enclaves across the nation, they might stay together, they might be individualized, but you have that power. And look, among the other powers you have, the Bill of Rights, which Constitution Party candidates highly respect, revere in fact, gives the power to peaceably assemble, to speak freely, to report in the press freely, to petition government for grievances, the power to have no unwarranted searches, to have due process if you're accused, to be rid of cruel and unusual punishment at the hands of the federal government. And there's one beautiful amendment. I just named off parts of 4. The best one, the all-encompassing, is the 9th. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. It means the Constitution has little power to command you. And that means conservatives, irascible conservatives, who might be standing in your way now, who would certainly stand in the way of Bernie Sanders and Liz Warren, they have no effect when a constitutional regime takes over. So let me introduce you to 3 men vying for the Constitution Party's nomination in May. They are Don Blankenship, Daniel Cummings, Charles Kraut. I've spoken with all of them. These are good men. These are men who can't possibly trample on the rights of progressives because they revere the rights that the Constitution gives to every one of us. They may not agree with progressive mindset, but that's not for constitutional governance, which they're pledged to do. Bernie Sanders is pledged to go way beyond the Constitution, to things that Americans' framers never envisioned, and more importantly, are unwise. When you say, we want welfare only for those who want to be part of it, we want Medicare for all who want it, Bernie contends, but no, it is good for everybody, so we must have it. Not true. And even if, Bernie, you were wiser than the rest of us, we're not going to put our faith in government power to do what we as individual families and groups that come together have the choice to do or not to do. This is what the Constitution stands for. Do what you want, so long as you are not harming others. It was enshrined in 1789. We had a few amendments to make it even better, and we had very good governance for the first 140 or so years. It's only in this last century that we have gone off the rails towards a statist interpretation of our Constitution. And with it, has our government gotten any better? Have people become more free, more prosperous? Our kids are in deeper debt thanks to government spending that it shouldn't even be allowed to do. The Constitution Party respects Article 1, Section 8, which gives very few powers of Congress to spend. That means the government that is left is one that will run better. It's one that we have better scrutiny over, so that if it is running awry, we don't have to throw up our hands and say, that's just government, we can't do anything. Yes, we can, when there's a limited scope and a recognition that it deserves limited powers. President Trump doesn't recognize the limited powers that he should have. President Obama, I think wiser than Trump, but still blew over the limitations that he had. Constitution Party recognizes we are limited because the smaller the government, the larger the individual. That's what I am here to push for, and I am promoting every candidate, presidential, congressional, state house seat, who believes in the Constitution and liberty. I'm Mark Stewart. Thank you for taking the time. Please look into these candidates and open your mind. Media is not open enough. You who've listened to this are. Reward yourselves and maybe share this with people who are too rigid in their statism and might find that their own values are better met with a Constitution Party regime.